All right, welcome back, everybody, here on the You're Welcome stream, the nights before Christmas, with your host Laz and Cup of Frag. How are you feeling on day number 2?
I am wondering what the heck's going to happen today, because yesterday was so colourful, so spicy, man. It was all over the place. So for this one today, we've got Equinox, and they're taking on a worthy competitor. Who are they taking on, Staylaz?
So it's going to be Equinox versus ex-Serenity, so will be an interesting match. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how things go, but it will be on Haven, and it already looks like we are going to be jumping things right into the game, of course. What better way than to just get the action started immediately?
Definitely, and if this is going to be a best of 3, I've got some extra news for Haven being the map of choice here. Haven, actually, over 70% win ratio for both teams on that map. Equinox, they've played it the most, and so have Serenity out of all their maps, period, in the Valorant experience so far. So with that in mind, 2 teams, veterans, I'd say, so far, in the sense of Haven, that'll bring some big A-game for this battle here.
Yeah, and what better way than on a Haven? I mean, definitely a lot of hype on the map and a lot of history. And I mean, back in the day, both these teams have played against each other, so a bit of a, going back into history and playing each other. I think the last time was at the Nerd Street Gamer event as well, so a little bit more going back into history as well.
Cover going out. History is a cool thing to talk about in Valor, isn't it? It was such an early game, and what is it? It was kind of about a year with this game sort of in the circuit. Lots changed. Of course, Sky has been added. You had Cypher, so many cool little agents that have been thrown into the mix, and plenty more to come. Maps as well. That's something else we're pretty excited for, eh?
Yeah, things have already started, and it's just actually leaving it down to Joseph by himself with the classic in hand versus 2 more remaining members here for Equinox, and now I'm going to have to push on through, but they're just going to be completely holding the ground, and it will be Decop to take him down, and that's going to be the pistol round going for Equinox.
Equinox taking the first, and with stats, and I'm going to be the stat man today, definitely done all my homework, they finished in the top 4 placement for the first Drake Open. Within the closed qualifier, not so much luck, but Equinox, they've had pistol rounds before, and they're looking to get it started here.
And actually, this is an interesting play now as well, because, I mean, ex-Serenity, they're actually just going to go for a very light purchase of the pistols, just going to have the Sheriff as well as the Frenzy, and actually just keeping the Classic. So not a lot of investment used in this round. You can already see it is going to be Decop that is going to be scouting out with the drone, getting that free B site, which will just be turn up right behind, just in C-Link, just trying to find something with the shock dart. Not even able to connect any damage, but the spike's going to go down. So this is going to be a big retake situation in considering all things, but Showtime just going to be holding the ground in A main, and now turn up going to be inside the site, but the Molotov going to be blocking off his vision. He's got 2 members holding a tight crossfire, and look at this, they just completely swing for it, and he's trying to look for something, and it's just going to come down to easy, and that's only going to be 1, and Equinox take another round with quite ease.
So getting another one in the bag, and that's the momentum game, isn't it? Within this best of 3 scenario too, getting those rounds in early, it's not just the first couple of rounds, it could be map number 1. So if you can get that into your favour starting things off on your Sunday, it's gonna be a good Sunday morning, or afternoon for that matter.
Yeah, it's only morning for us because we're in far west, of course, of Canada. But either way, these players now going to be putting the full investment through. Going to be Phantoms and Vandals for the defensive side, ready to go. ex-Serenity, seeing if they can bring the fight to them this next round to retaliate back. And it looks like, again, the attacker is going to be putting a lot of investment onto this B site and already going to push on through. And this shock dart actually does make the connection and turn up the perfect lineup, actually takes down DXN. And that's a good way to get things started. But the spike is going to be down, so time is ticking here for the defenders. Look at that. Oh, that pop flash from Meania is big, and now Pancake's able to take down another. So this is a lot of damage already being done. The attackers, this is a bit of a bonus considering how they are with their weapons. And now they're going to have to go, and they're going to have to hightail because the spike, it's ticking very quick. And it's just down to now the one-on-one, but that's going to be Decop to take them down, and Equinox survive another.
Tripling on that one as well. So getting a little bit concerning now, and sure, yeah, only a couple of rounds into it, and that's always something to bear in mind, the glass half full. But if you can look at that glass half empty, and at this point, you've got to start assessing all kinds of angles. Is this going to be starting to get in the head of ex-Serenity?
And this is something we saw yesterday. I mean, attacking side, it seemed to be the more favorable side from all teams that we watched on Haven, and just dominant performances. So already looking very well for ex-Serenity, because like we said, that was a bit of a bonus. We can see there's plenty of money still in the bank for them. And now this is going to be a bit of a meat grinder round, because you can even see Showtime. He's got the shorty. He's going to see if they're going to be coming in this club, but he is going to go for the wide swing and only able to take out one with the dash, but that'll be cute boy to take them down with the immediate trades. And now that's just going to be a free site open for grabs here for Equinox.
And they're going to take that, take anything they can get.
Really good utility usage. You can see the double cloud burst and actually completely blocking off the vision here for Easy. Not able to push on through, but it is going to be him. Also, Screwjet are going to be the ones that are close by. They're trying to find some kind of a little bit of an opening. But Turn Up, he's going to have to be that distraction point, but he already falls immediately. Decop with 2, making it easy to pick up another. We're going to have to fall back and maybe just pick up an exit or 2. But you go look at this. You can see 3 members just completely waiting for him. And that's going to be Cute Boy to take him down, and Equinox pull up another round, 4-0.
So the turnip's being yielded, and off they go with 4 rounds. We saw this quite a few games yesterday where you had that sort of 6-1, 7-1 lead before a team really start to chime in. You saw that with timing, all puns intended. You also saw that with many other teams we cast yesterday. So in that kind of pattern, we might be seeing that again today. So Easy to get on the train of Alt. They look like they're getting wrecked, but no, it's too early to tell.
Joke's over! You're dead!
And just to remind viewers as well, yes, this is a best of 3. We'll change that graphic for you afterwards, but it is going to be a BO3.
So whoever takes this map is not going to get straight through to those semis, but they've got the potential 2nd and 3rd, depending on who's going blow for blow here.
I know exactly where you are.
Maybe the neural theft that's going to be used now. That's going to be from the Cypher. So now the spike about to get planted. A 3-on-3 situation. And that will be the shock darts that are going to line up, and that's going to be the drone used from Turn Up. And now the Hunter's Fury from Decop, and this is a good way to just bait them out. They can't push this because they don't want to get caught in the range. But now will be Cute Boy to pick up another, just leaving it down to only 2 more members. And Showtime, they're going to be a bit split apart, and Showtime all alone, only able to fall to Decop, and that's a 5th round. In Equinox, they look like they're just going hot and heavy.
So, did you get any Vectors on your friends list? Because I'm sure at least one of them was in the server all night, lads, in the firing range, and they just didn't stop clicking. Because right now, this is ridiculous. Not any shots being missed.
Yeah, really dominant performance that we're seeing from the attackers. And I mean, now money is just looking good. Not a lot of issues. And I mean, they are coming down to these 3v3 situations. So it's not like they're just completely running over the sites. But right now, we need to see something a little bit different from ex-Serenity, because right now, what they're doing is just not working.
Yeah, Equinox, they've got the permit to build, and they've already started to put the foundations in place and start to put the brick on top of that. Jet coming in early here. Showtime is Showtime, baby. Get up to Cubby on long C and just getting that intel. So intel can be powerful as well, and that's what X-Ray are trying to do. They're trying to get a bit of information and just trying to kind of sneak into a position that's going to get them that first pick, lads, because they need to get that entry. That's what would really crack things open here.
Yeah, finding that first opening duel, if you can win it as the defensive side, that's exactly what you want, because then you can go back, turtle, reposition yourselves to have more of a stronger defense. But if you lose that player immediately, that's really when it starts to become a bigger issue for you. And that's actually Showtime that is able to get that first one, but the immediate trade comes in afterwards. But that's a good start. And now there is going to be 2 players that were close by. They got the sheriffs in hand. Turn Up going to be close by, picking up one, looking to make it a second, but no, it's just going to be trades back and forth. Now making it the 2-2. Both defensive players coming in very fast, very ready to go in the defense. And now you can even see the attackers. They're completely on opposite sides of each other. They have a bit of an interesting crossfire, to say the least.
Fast cut and ready, definitely worth a mention. The spray down coming through. Noble effort, Cypher on Cypher, and it is going to be on this one-on-one. This is such an important round here. If X-Strange can land this, lads, they can already back into the game. And as I say that, running reloading, not going to cut the mustard. 6 rounds down to the one-on-one, and really the best effort we've seen so far from ex-Serenity. However, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and you can even see he was actually going for the ultimate. That was Joseph that was using the neural theft, so trying to get that location reveal, but peeked a bit too wide and actually had the reload. So a bit of a misplay. I'm not too sure if he wasn't expecting somebody to be peeking that wide, but. And the one thing to note too is Decop didn't even have his ultimate ready or anything like that, because typically we see Sovas that like to sit in the back of long C like that and burn the Hunter's Fury just to cause more of an issue for that defuse.
Exactly a play that Sova's kind of known for, I think, on this map. The infamous Sova play, the long C with the Hunter's Fury or a shock dart. You've seen Hiko do it too many times.
Yeah, definitely taking a playbook or two potentially out of Hiko. But now we'll need to see something different in the playbook here for ex-Serenity, because they are down 0-6. Still 6 rounds to go in this first half, so lots of opportunity for them to pick up rounds, get some kind of a fighting chance. But right now, this just looks like Equinox's game so far.
It does, doesn't it? It doesn't seem like ex-Serenity are tapping out per se, or just throwing and not making the attempts. They're making their best attempts. They're making plays, switching up and keeping it fresh. Is that enough to keep them at bay, though? Right now, it's formidable fools to mess with, and it doesn't seem to matter what angles they're playing, off angles or whatever it may be. The one-on-ones, if every player's got a clutch up their sleeve, lads, what do you do? Maybe they've just had their weeder picks or had their wheelies, as you would say.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, it is still early in the afternoon. We'll see what everybody's had for their breakfast, lunch, or their game regimens, but we'll have to wait and see. Now it looks like it is going to be the C site that's going to get tested. That's going to be easy to find the first, but he's going to get caught with the paranoia in his hand. The trade immediately from Pancakes. And that's going to be a lot of pain, as now ex-Serenity, they're going to be planning this spike, but there is time of the essence. But the Hunter's Fury still causing a lot of issues, but there should be just enough time to get it down. Yes, so it allows Equinox to have more time to bait, to reposition themselves. You can even see Scrooge is coming in hot, and now even 2 more members remaining. It's going to be just Pancakes, the Lone Ranger, 1-on-3 situation, but that's going to be turn up, and now ex-Serenity, they pick up their first round.
Thanks.
There we go. Getting things off to a bit of a bumpy start, but it's going to happen. They're going to get the spare tyre out of the back of the vehicle, chuck open the trunk and put it on. It's good. It's not a square wheel. They have the round wheel available. So with all that in mind, they found a little hole in the armor of their opponent on the side of Equinox. And both these teams, fairly new rosters. And to give you a quick intel, it's June for Equinox. They've been around since. And I think from what I was seeing there from ex-Serenity, it's only September, lads. So quite a new roster. Been through 8 or so tourneys, and they're doing their best to keep up punch for punch with the top teams in their category. So for them to be going up against Equinox and made it this far, props to ex-Serenity. And you might be seeing right now this scoreline, what's happening. This is a quarterfinal, but this team, they're so new. So give them a chance to prove themselves. There might be something in just yet.
Now a very slow round from both teams. You can see this completely holding the ground, holding the fort, if you will. Not making any movements, a lot of hesitation, and even now Showtime playing very exposed, but actually lands that shot, and he knows that the Omen actually did go through the TP, but he actually gets taken down. Pancakes finds him, and that's going to be the neural theft that's going to be used. So now going to be giving the location of all these players. Now it will be the Blade Storm that's going to be used from DXN, finds the one of turn up, and now looking to find a little bit more. And this is just complete mayhem. Look at this. This is just a firefight in C-Link. And now it's come right down to the 2-2.
It is. You've got 2 duelists. If they're supporting kind, just try and do their best and
last player standing
down, if you will. 2 versus 1. It's looking like it's going to be another Equinox dream play here. This spike plant mid is not ideal if you go for the defuse. One frag gets me taken from Joseph though, and in comes the shock dart, shocking Cypher out of that round and give him that rude awakening. It's 7-1.
That's an amazing lineup that came in from Decop too. So we got to talk about that. He was so far back, and you can see the shock dart. The first one came off, it ricocheted off the wall. Next one just comes in straight on top of him in front of that spike. So it's just little things like that that make the biggest difference in those post-plant situations, because you know most teams are going to be playing in the mid-courtyard area. But if you can be far back enough to have the lineups, man, that's going to be a tough situation to get out of.
It's the point of contention is it lies. Do you reckon it's essential as a player at this level
Deploying
to
drone.
have those kind of one-trick pony plays? Or wow, Jet's Blade Storm, let me get a chance to talk. Coming straight out the gates there,
Revealing
Showtime.
area.
Starting to pop off the past couple rounds and getting all those entries.
Oh, that's going to be a great pick coming in from Decop. I mean, takes down already to 12 HP, but he will take the frag. And now going to be 4 members that are going to be able to push into the site. So now they've made able to get that spike down, but that's going to be the spray. But Cute Boy doesn't make it look pretty, but he will land that exchange, and now just leaving it all down to Easy by himself on a 1-on-4. At this point, you might as well go for it.
It's anything but easy, but you're right. It's on extra hard difficulty already. The Bulldog put it to work, but jumping the head off his opponent. Still 3 players to remove from this 7. As you can see from this play, from this movement, I think he's just going for exit slides. I don't think he's too hungry for this one.
Yeah, at this point, he's completely lit. He doesn't have armor. He's down to 8 HP. Completely revealed by the shock dart, and DXN just going to solidify that next round for them. It's a tough situation to be in. This is one of the most difficult sites, in my opinion, to retake because there's so many tight angles, like, especially when the numbers are just against you. And that's why we kind of saw a lot of hesitation and just everything didn't go his way at all.
Oh, this is a
You've
nice
kind of got to
view.
be a bat out of hell going on to C, don't you? Just like going in really heavy in there and just making sure
goes
that
here.
you're firing all cylinders. You can't be missing. You've got to check every angle like no tomorrow. And if you're not doing that, you're not willing to do that, then you've got to back out and just call it a loss and save the weapon. That is going to be the attempt there, and getting through to the 8-1 rounds that we are looking at right now. ex-Serenity, we need to see a couple of rounds to make this a doable half, and Showtime, he's doing his best, lads. He's trying it again with that op pick.
Yeah, that's a really good start in Showtime. This is, the second time in a row now where, very exposed, peaks very wide, and look at that, picking up another.
Yes, please.
Really needing that frag, and that's a really good way for the things to be started here for ex-Serenity. And now it's just going to be 3 remaining members here for the attackers. You can see Decop just waiting outside of A main, but the lurk, Cute Boy is going to be lurked in the back, and they might not expect this. This is a huge position. Goes for the 1, finds Joseph Anel. They know where he is, so he needs to be very careful in the timing. He needs to investigate a little bit more. And it is only going to be 2 members, but the drone going to come out. 3 remaining defensive players. And they have lots of time, and that's the dangerous part right now for the defense.
Cute Boy, I really think this is going to be an issue, lads. He's in such a dodgy position. He's got that map control. He knows B's probably up for grabs here. Is that going to be the play, though? He's going through to mid-window.
30 seconds left.
Oh, this timing could be so impeccable. I mean, you can see Scrooge is just on the other side. Decop, he thinks that's going to be in the right, but oh, he looks it. Look at this. They're both aiming, and they actually do find the frag. So now they have a little bit of timing that they can push right into this site, but they're going to need to go very quick because now going to be down to 12 seconds for that plant.
10
But the
seconds
defense,
left.
they're completely spread apart. And look at this, Easy. He's just running in hot and ready again. And look at this. Now, just going to be the Hunter's Fury used from Decop. And he finds the 1. Can he make the 2nd? He won't be able to find it. But now he's put himself in the 1-on-1 situation.
How does he land that? That lineup, it didn't even look like it was a full frontal push of what he wanted to do. It's going to work. He's going to have it. And that one, that's on purpose. That's a pre-lineup. Sova taking it home and dropping in style. It's 9-1.
Decop just doing mad work. 16-1. Can we talk about that? He's died 1 time in this game. That's insane. And look at that. He came up absolutely massive that round, and he was able to pull up a big clutch, and he just completely decimated the defenders. And right now, it just seems like ex-Serenity, they don't have any sort of an answer.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a one-man army, lads, but 16-1, are you having a laugh? Is some kind of joke? This is a serious tournament. This is a 10K tournament here, and that is the kind of plays and the kind of style that you're going to need to take the cake in 9-1. I don't know if this is going to be something that a team can come back from. If you've got that one team with a player that's popping off like no tomorrow, it's hard to make a comeback on that. Entry is going to come through here and make that a triple baby coming from ex-Serenity. Only 2 players left on this
Spike
evo.
planted. Last
Yeah,
player
at this point,
standing.
this is just desperation mode. They're just looking for any sort of scavenging they can do, but it won't be anything at all. It will be a flawless round from Equinox. And look at this, 10-1, going into the last round of this first half. And this is just looking very dominant from the attacker side of Equinox. Very impressive.
if you are just joining us right now, thank you for joining us, and apologies for things getting off to a close to time at start. Frag, I'm here joining Laz on the You're Welcome stream. Please chuck us a follow. That's why we're here trying to get our name out there and make sure you can enjoy our pipes while we're speaking over the game. Again, at Frag and at Laz_TV on Twitter. If you feel like following our Action Hunters Fury straight out the gates here, turn it. He wants to reap the rewards, and he's going to take one immediately. See you later, brother Sova.
Yeah, things are definitely going to be turning up now on that defensive side, getting ready to just use that Hunter's Fury immediately. We don't always see that, like, using it, as soon as the round starts, but that's a great way to get things going. And that's what we were talking about. That's where they need to find these opening picks to win those duels. But now you can even see it's going to be Pancakes. Look at this. Has A tower control already pushed up. It is going to be the Cypher that's right underneath Joseph. But boy, this is a big nuisance, and look at that. The spike's going to be making itself all the way into C site. Showtime actually all the way in the back of C long.
Spike
This is just a complete scattered mess right now.
Gong show, absolute gong show. Is a caster keeping a track on that? I'm envious of someone that's not in the spectator seat right now. This is crazy, mental, and off these
One
retakes,
enemy
this
remaining.
could be a possibility. 3 versus 1. It's all down to the Phoenix, and this turned around all of a sudden here. Mino grabbing the frag. Only the wall bang for Uno Mas to remain. And that is going to be ex-Serenity, able to pick up round number 2. Well, full, considering that situation, lads, the rotations that had to happen there, it was all over the place. It was like a GPS that's been
Switching
dropped on the
sides.
floor and it was bounced all over.
Yeah, what an amazing first half that came in. Equinox 10-2. I mean, that's, we don't, always see those big leads that come out. But I mean, now we'll have to see if ex-Serenity has something planned in the playbook. Do they have some sort of a trick that can pull them up this pistol round and further to keep on going? But I guess time will tell. And for anybody that is not aware, it is map number 1, best of 3.
For the Knights.gg, powered by eBay, Nights Before Christmas. And yes, this is a 10k tournament. We've got some teams here. You've got some names you've seen before, maybe a couple that you haven't. And the 2 teams right now on the server, it's not Gen G, it's not going to be NRG, so Details, but they are up-and-coming teams that have proved so far they've got what it takes to play with the best. In the quarterfinals where you're sitting right now, 1 team will get through for this best of 3. Who's it going to be?
Bit of an interesting round because you can even see it will be the Omen that's going to be pushed on through this. So that's Pancakes just trying to make a bit of commotion inside of A sewer. But now the attackers, they are getting ready to potentially go for this. But DXN does take down 1, and that will be the immediate trade frag back. Making it into the 4-4. Still plenty of time to work with. Lots of time on that clock. Spike still in the hands for the attackers. No disadvantage yet. But the question is, do they want to try to keep going for this A? I mean, now this would be the perfect time to strike because look at this, the defense, a little bit of a fake, but they could potentially just allow this retake to happen.
Could do, and out comes all of Omen's abilities, smoking galore. Keeping him at bay, and the spike is going to go down. So the 4 versus 4,
Spike
it
planted.
continues, and the retake, it's still yet to come.
Dark cover's going to dissipate now, so Decop going to be on top of the heaven.
Revealing area.
Going to use the recon bolt, so the Sovas, you can see they're both getting ready to use it. So now Decop going to go for the wide swing, but he is going to be exposed a little bit. But Pancakes needs to be able to take this first point, needs to find this frag right on the corner. And that's going to be Decop to find it, but now the 2 remaining players going to be underneath, and that's going to be that, and Pancakes brings the pain. And Equinox keep things going, making it 11-2.
Pain's taken around right down to the 1-on-1, but what was perfect there, lads, was the trades. 6 trades taken to lucky number 11, and super lucky if you're on the side of Equinox. They're 1 away from match point, and we've just started the stream. We've just started it here, 11-2.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal. I mean, this game has been going very quickly. I mean, all these rounds seem to pretty much go very quickly. They're definitely not burning the clock or anything like that in Equinox.
No,
they had the right thing this morning. I guess the Wheaties are looking pretty good.
we need to rep whatever it may be, man. And they're on that speed run. I've talked about this in CSGO and in Valorant. And sometimes you get a team that, yeah, they don't seem to be stopping. You talk about Nikes, Adidas, whatever it is. They've got all of them strapped on with a jetpack to follow suit as well. 1 away from match point. You've just started your day. you've got to be feeling fantastic, glorious, if you will. This Spectre spray down, not going to go for 2, but you've got to admire the confidence there coming out from Equinox. So coming trying to get that frag right away.
Decop just finding the succession every single time, and look at this. It's pretty much a moment of just completely out-fragging your opponents now. 2 remaining players for ex-Serenity, both Easy and Joseph. They have some Spectres, but they don't really have a lot of ground to work with. I mean, they could now get this free plant to be a difficult site to hold down on the post-plant situation, especially with the number disadvantage. But they're going to make the cross, but Joseph not going to be able to make that work. So now all just down to Easy on a 1-on-4. Going to only take 1 before he falls to the grave. And now putting Equinox on match point.
Match
What's
point.
the difference with the 2 teams right now? If you imagine, like, you go into a buffet, yeah, and you've got all the food there. If it was ex-Serenity gone up to the table, they'd grab just a small plate, they'd put like 1 spring roll on the plate, and they'd walk away saying, "I'm full, thanks, I'm good for now." But on the side of Equinox, they've just put it all on their plate, all of the food, get the tablecloth, and just pouring it onto their chest and their mouth, and off they go. So they're hungry, they're full. Almost, because it's 12-2. They're on match point, lads, and I mentioned it. I've just woke up to come to this stream. We're going to sleep soon after because this is going to be such a quick game. We need to see more out of this X-rated lineup if they want to stay in these quarters.
Yeah, if it's a moment to strike, it's definitely going to be now for ex-Serenity. Backs are completely against the boards. 2-12, a long road ahead of them. They need 10 rounds in a row to make the comeback a reality. But we'll have to take it round by round to see what's going to happen. I mean, they do have garage control, so now a little bit of real estate to work with, and Showtime going to be using the dash, trying to get that entry, but we'll get a little bit of an assist, and now that's going to be the Hunter's Fury that's going to be used. Does get caught by Decop again, making himself 21-3. The post-plant situation now commenced. The slightest player advantage here for the attackers.
7.0 KDR, not too shabby. You had the cogs turning, yes they were. And that's what ex-Serenity have to deal with right now. 3 versus 3. Who's it going to be? We're going to see the straight blowout here. 1 more play removed, just back to the 3-on-2. The spike is getting diffused here, and it doesn't seem to be being stopped. The spray to go for the Spectre at long C. The hard diffuse has gone through, and it's looking to go all the way through. It's match point, and Haven? What Haven? It's gone.
Yeah, no Haven at all. I mean, that very dominant performance from Equinox. Congratulations for them to take map number 1 in such an amazing fashion. So early on, really just bringing the pain train already. And you can look at this. Look at the stats. Unbelievable. 23-3 with an average combat score of 353. That's absolutely outstanding.
Do we even need to talk about an MVP, lads? I don't think we do we, mate?
I really don't think we do. I mean, at this point, it's just... yeah, it was just pretty much a one-man army.
That's a bit of a no-brainer of the one-man army coming through from Equinox. That's for map number 1 for a one-man army, though. What's going to happen for map number 2? And are we going to see a map number 3? So many questions. I don't have the answers, and neither does Laz. But the 2 teams in the server, they may do in just a bit. With map number 2, do we have any of the intel of what's coming up next, mate? Or are we still waiting?
It's all the big surprise at this point. So we're still waiting to see what's gonna happen. So we are just gonna take a very, very short break. We should be having map number 2 commenced right away. Don't go away. Grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever you need. We'll be back shortly. All right, we're back. We're here. Map number 2. Looking forward for the nights before Christmas. Can't even get the words out of my mouth. On your welcome stream with your host Laz and of course Kappa. So now we are commenced on Split.
Yeah. Split, not actually when you see too much at the high level players. I think a lot of teams stray away from it from what I've noticed. Just because those close combat duels, they can be super troublesome. With that in mind, let's have a look shortly what agents we've got going in the realm of Split. Such a pretty map as well. A lot of cool things to look at along the way. But players won't be looking at that. They're looking for their opponents.
So it will be Equinox that are going to be starting on that defensive side, whereas now ex-Serenity going to be starting in the attacking side. Now, I mean, historically, we think that this map, you know, definitely favors the defender side. I mean, there's a lot of big choke points, a lot of difficulties as an attacker. So we'll have to see if ex-Serenity have something in store for us. And the strat book is full of all the knowledge and big plays.
It better be overflowing. We need to see the big game on the big stage. Yeah, that's not the biggest tournament you've seen in Valorant so far. This is not First Strike, and we're just winding things down for the end of the year. But maybe, thought out there, maybe this is more important than anything else entirely you've seen this year, because it's how you finish the year. It's that note that you end on, and the pistol round has commenced here, and the early play from Mina. He's coming straight through, gets all the players blind, and what pop flash that was, not going to get anything to reap the rewards though.
Yeah, and that's a huge amount of aggression that we're already seeing from Mina. So falling down already. So ex-Serenity get that first pick that they really need, which now puts the defense in a bit of a bind because now they're going to have to go for a gamble on their defensive setup. And now you can actually see they are heavily leaning on this B, allowing all the attackers to have a lot more map control. And they're just grouped up, hanging out. A little bit of a social gathering here in the back of mid. And now going to be just posting up, just going to, again, going for a little bit more of a fake, just causing a little bit of noise. Try to throw them off guard, but no budge yet.
Don't know if they've been played for that hangout there in the social gathering form of mid, but that's something that Equinox are going to have to decide here. They've got the position held up over on B, and numbers, is that going to be enough to stop this tremendous push? So many friends coming through. It's going to be the double down for Decop. That 7.0 KDR plus some. It's not going to cut the mustard. It's down to one play on the rotation. It's down to cute Fat Boy. Is he going to be cute enough to get this one done?
Spike planted.
And the HP is very low. Look at this. Every single player, they're completely in the red. So there is a chance that he could just make one shot to connect. But oh, the blind. It actually does connect, and the paranoia not going to come through, but finds the one. So now they need to be very careful, but they're playing too exposed. And that's so cute because Cute Boy comes up big with a 3K.
Yo, he's feeling cute on a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, wherever he may be. It doesn't matter. He's turned up in the server right now for this quarters, and yeah, we needed to see big. Whoever it's going to be taking this dub, and it's going to be Equinox. They've had a great first game, and pissed around, it's going to go their way.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
You mentioned about the
Yes,
HP
this
being
should
a
do.
concern, Laz.
This
Band-aids,
goes here.
they weren't available, and no
That
patch-up
goes
was going to
there.
be able to happen before those breaks
Yes,
came through.
this should do.
Just when you think it's going to go ex-Serenity's way, I mean, just individual star performance comes up from Cute Fat Boy. But that's what I was kind of saying. You know, the HP was so low. So really, all he had to do is just find one shot on every single player. And that's exactly what they did. But they played a bit too exposed. They just played very open. And they didn't have any opportunity to go for trades. So that was the biggest mistake that we saw from them that round.
Cute, a little bit chubby, and he's popping off. So far, so good. Well on his way to that 10k. Athletic as you come. Just under a minute arriving, and off comes the entry. Showtime. Showtime has arrived in the form of a one-tap with the Sheriff.
Yeah,
He's having a good game so far, isn't he, for those entries, Laz?
it really is, and that's what we kind of need to see. So now this is a little bit different than what we saw from ex-Serenity. They weren't really finding those openings. They weren't finding that first exchange or the first duel to win. But now so far in Split, it looks like that is kind of being the difference that we're noticing. But even that, look at that Showtime bringing the show so far for the attackers, taking down 2 now with the 1 taps with the Sheriff.
That is so spicy. 2 in 1 rounds. Keep it coming, big boy. Couple left, 3
30
players left
seconds
in the
left.
server. I'd love to see a couple of 1-taps. Not sure if that's going to be too much of an arse though. And off he goes. He's going for that ult. He wants his Blade Storm sooner rather than later. And that aggression is going to get penalized.
And you can already see the paranoia does come through, so will be the Cypher just going to hold the ground. That's cute, Fat Boy just holding it. This is an amazing crossfire. Pancakes bringing the pain with a triple. An amazing spray transfer, or even just a spray, it all matters. But huge play again from Equinox, shutting down the incoming attackers. No hope at all for ex-Serenity at this point.
Not with a crossfire setup like that. And if you've seen just this round of the entire best of 3 so far, that's enough to tell you it's not about misplays from ex-Serenity. It's about the outplays from Equinox. Top 4 contender there for the open qualifiers at First Strike. And yeah, when it came to closed qualifiers, didn't turn up so hot. But that doesn't matter because right now, they're looking like First Strike open qualifier team. They're on fire.
Even now, look at this aggression that's going to be coming in. So the Reyna going to be the first point of contact, getting ready to go through. But this is just a complete trap. There's so many defensive players getting ready, but that's going to be the flash. That's going to be the first easy frag.
Perfect.
Can we find the one through that? But that's going to be a counter flash comes in, but it doesn't matter. Scrooge picks up now two, but will fall. And DXN does get the trade back. A little bit of mayhem in middle, but now in the slight favor for ex-Serenity. We've seen them in this situation before, but it's how they react to the player advantage.
They need to do something with the gift they've been given here. It's like, it's a Christmas gift. It's that free gift from work. It's a $2 gift card. Are you going to spend it before it expires? Or is it going to expire? They've got to get to you. And this is a repeat of that first round. It's 3 versus 1. And if you don't do something with the gift, it just disappears.
A lot of ground already covered now. DXN just going to get caught by this paranoia. So very, very bad place to be in, but it will fade away. And now going to be able to spray. 1, 2, 3, we go. And now just leaving it all down to Showtime. The Neuro Theft going to be used and activated. So now location completely revealed. Going to have to just completely out-frag and run through it. Only time, but there's not enough time as Pancakes takes him down, making it 3-0. And Equinox again, smooth sailing.
So confusing. It wasn't eco. You had some sheriffs. You had a couple of ghosts and such as well from the realm of ex-Serenity. They're not able to convert these picks, and that's so frustrating as a team, isn't it? When you're like, okay, we've got the opening, where are we going? And it's nothing's being converted. So because of that, frustration, tilt, it's a best of 3. We've talked about mental game before, Laz. The mental game right now, how do you think ex-Serenity are feeling?
Get out of my way.
Definitely going to be frustrating for ex-Serenity. I mean, they seem to be in these positions where they have the player advantage, they have the right situations, but then they just crumble. And like this right now, I mean, they already lose 2 players immediately. They try to get a little bit more aggressive in B main, try to get some control. But instead, Mina's actually going to be able to push through, take them down. And that's going to be turned up. That finds one, and now DXN trying to look for another, but that's going to be turned up now in the tower. Turning up down on the HP, going to be down to 7, leaving it to a 3-3. Now, again, Equinox in the slight favor on the player advantage, and the HP, it's all relying on Joseph.
Right now at this point, with the confidence, the ego, the assertiveness is just oozing. It's oozing out of Equinox. They're making the most ridiculous plays, Laz. They're wide peaking any angle they go, and because of that, it seems to be catching ex-Serenity off guard. It's not radiant plays they're making. They're just thinking outside the box, and it's working so far.
Going to be pushing through, so now it will be the camera that's going to be destroyed. They're looking for any tripwires, looking for any sort of a problem. They spot the shoulder. Joseph lands the 1 tap. Now they should be able to have enough time to get this spike down. Going to be relying a lot on Joseph to get that camera, get that extra vision to figure out what is the plan. And right now they might want to just go for the trade system.
No more charges left.
Buddy
Cage trigger.
system, the trade system is so important and infamous for these kind of situations when they're to be one-handed. We do have a Phantom in play, got the Sheriffs in play as well, so gun retrieved here. The Elbows not being watched, it's going to be open. It's open for business if you're going to be Equinox. They come through and say, hey, you're not watching your back? I am, big boy, and taking it right away. What a bloomer, lads. They weren't watching elbow.
Yeah, and that's the tough spot. You're in that tight corner. I mean, you're pretty much, they both were looking at the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you could see they both looked away, I think, pretty much within that second. And it's just those slight seconds or milliseconds that can really make the biggest difference. And that's what we saw in Equinox. They found the opening, and they just completely pounced on it.
And you're right. Those split-second decisions are what separate teams. right now, as we go into the quarters, they've made it from 128 teams to 32 to 16, and here we are in the quarterfinals. You've been through a slog of a couple of days as well, and not to forget that, honourable mention for the Lights.gg, sick tournament we've had so far, and with all that, the players, they've got to be feeling the vibes, feeling a little bit of an energy drain for a weekend full of Valorant.
Yeah, Equinox right now, I mean, they are going to be a 4-0. And like we were saying before, this is a, I would consider this definitely be still defender side favorite. And it is difficult to go, especially for attacking. And we didn't see a lot we saw from ex-Serenity on their attacking in map number 1. We'll have to see, can they do something different
Right there.
against Equinox, but I'm not too sure. But right now, they find that opening pick, but they need to capitalize on it. And that's just something that we notice they're missing.
They are. There seems to be a piece missing from the puzzle. You get that puzzle box, there's 99 pieces. They've got 98. There's that one piece that's missing, and it's standing out like a sore thumb right now. Need to see the difference if that's going to be playing off of Showtime's picks. I think that's the most important and promising thing we've seen so far from ex-Serenity. Showtime's been making consistent entries across 2 maps. Use it, utilize it, and make it work. But against players like Decop, you've got Cute Fat Boy taking that 3 versus 1 in pistol.
30
It's going to be a
seconds
tough
left.
feat, man.
Tripwire cage trigger.
Here comes the push as well. Look at
Tripwire
them go.
destroyed. Know how it feels.
Big plays from Equinox, and now that's going to be Cute Fat Boy picking up 2, trying to make it maybe 3-piece. No, Decop going to take it. So now it is just 2 remaining players that are going to be on the side here for the attackers of ex-Serenity. But at this point, they're just going to need to save. They have no control. They lost the spike. They're just going to need to keep these weapons alive. But the push is coming through. Cute Fat Boy is getting a little bit hungry, wants to find more to snack on, but instead will just hold back.
Sunday brunch. He's looking to get his next meal, but he'll save his appetite for the next round. An appetite for destruction, man. Equinox, 5-0. We saw the 6-0 blowout in the beginning of
This
the
goes
first
here.
map, and it turned out to be,
That
I think
goes
it was,
there.
was it 13-2? I can't remember the final score of it was, but along the
this
short
is
of
a
it,
nice spot.
it's turned out to be a bit of a repeat
Yes,
scenario
this
of
should
map
go.
number 1, and if that's the case, best of 3 in the trash, and they'll be moving forward straight to the semis.
Yeah, Equinox right now is just looking so dominant on just a whole other level against these ex-Serenity players. And just, like I said, we find these openings, but then it's all just down to big plays that are coming from each of these players. It's not just one person, but now it's just turning up to be everybody on the squad. And that's a dangerous recipe to go against.
Super dangerous. And you've mentioned this before to me, and it's occurring more and more. The more we cast, the more we see Valorant action. If one player pops off, it can turn the tides of the entire game. You're like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let me try this cool play I just learned from Flights or whatever it may be, and it's turning up today in the server. 5-0 is the score. Just over a minute left, and slowly but surely, trickling to mid will be the ex-Serenity players, and maybe, just maybe, this could be where they get down to business. Have had some success there, got an occasional pick,
Blocking
but
sight.
we need to see those trades come in real fast here. 40 seconds, just plus.
Position is gained now. Ex-Serenity able to push into mailroom.
Here.
Going to be able to get a little bit control, but DXN does have the paranoia ready to go. You can see excited to burn it. And Decop, what they're going to do is a little bit bait and switch. So the paranoia will go through the wall, so then that's where Decop could go for, potentially for this big wide swing, but instead it will be the dark cover that's going to block him. That's going to be Rolling Thunder. That's going to be activated on the attacking side, but DXN, he falls. He's not able to reply back, so now Yamamina is going to have to find something down to 11, and even the paranoia connects.
10
The
seconds
spike,
left.
it needs to get planted. All he has to do is take it down, and that's a good start, and Mina picks up 2, and that might be enough, and that's going to be just to delay it. They need to stay alive, and Equinox pull up a huge round. What on earth? This is mayhem.
Dude, that's not the latest retake, lads. There was like
Gun here.
3 seconds. The spike was in mid-plant, and somehow Equinox surface out of the shadows. Crouching Equinox and hidden talent is what we're seeing here. It's not hidden. They're flexing, man. It's 6-0, and this is really looking like a repeat scenario of map number 1. I don't know what else to say, lads. It's plain and simple.
I am completely speechless. I mean, that was just so many different scenarios, so many different things that happened, which just completely flipped that around. And that's what I was saying. Like, ex-Serenity, like, they have the right ideas, but it just seems like that late mid round, it just completely falls apart. And that was just an amazing play. I mean, Mina just holding it down, getting the spike down as well, not allowing it to get planted, and then even just Decop to get that aftershock through. Just event after an event of issues.
11 HP, lads. That's how much had to be Jet had on the defense there. That's not ideal. It's far from it. The frenzy, not ideal. Being put to work, though. The double down here coming from Cute Fat Boy. He's got the triple, in fact, and he's looking for the quadra if he can. Keep the momentum going, keep the fire in his belly. A one tap is going to come through here from Turnip. He's got 3 more though. That's a massive ask and not going to happen. Operator in the face, taking him out 7-0. Red Bull's hitting me in the face as well, if I didn't. Well, there's energy bursts are coming from, and oh, courtesy to get that fire, get those vibes going here for the quarterfinal of Knights.gg. Cup of Frag myself on all socials, at Laz_TV on Twitter. For my co-caster here, I'm joining on the Your Welcome stream. Lots of Valorant coming for 2021. Maybe even some CSGO, but Valorant, that's where we are right now. Strategic FPS. And messing with the best here. Is there going to be anything to come from ex-Serenity, Les? What's your take on this? What would be the coach's corner? You get him in the corner for 10 seconds, 30 seconds. What's the words of wisdom you're going to give him? A one-liner.
It's pretty much at this point, I think it's going to be those Coach Carter motivational quotes, because right now, I mean, everything seems like they're trying to do everything correctly. It's not like, you know, they're making huge mistakes. It's just that they, like I said, those mid-late rounds, they're just not able to make something work. But right now, I mean, they need to mentally reset. I mean, it's 7-0. There's still a few rounds to go that they could pick up to transition it into that second half, and that's what they need. They need to just find a few just to work off of something.
Man, just seeing how Decom's playing against them and the individual performances from all across the board in Equinox. This is just a terrifying team to play against. You take one out, there's another guy hiding somewhere, and he's just going to pop out and take your head off. Look at this example, Pancakes. The Pain Stakes actually being fallen against him in this scenario. It's a 3 versus 3. The scales have been evened out slightly, but Mina just hiding in the back. We've seen this play a couple of times. The Frenzy is going to grab one, and one and done. It's 2 on 2.
One enemy remaining.
So this could be the round. I mean, this is a one-on-one situation time. Still lots of time left. Easy, just looking at every single option, trying to find this player could potentially be the dark cover going to be used. That's going to block off this connector. So could try to go for the fake plant, but it looks like he's definitely risking it. The paranoia comes in. So now enough time for the paranoia to connect, get that spike down. But now the position that's from Cute Fat Boy is just too big. And that Cute Fat Boy is going to be able to pick up another round for Equinox.
Cute Fat Boy puckering up for the kisses from his team. He's had a lot of clutches this game. 3 Ks from the first round, and it hasn't really stopped for him. What's going on for the scoreboard, lads? How's Cute Fat Boy faring up against great players on his team like Decop? Okay, so Decop said, you know what, pal? I'm just going to take a back seat here. You're the carry. I'm in your backpack, and make sure you pass the snacks and the drinks to the back of the bus. He's having a good time. He's enjoying the ride.
Yeah, whatever they gave Cute Fat Boy this, like, before the second map, I mean, just make sure to do that every single time, because 14-1, we saw the last game Decop was the one that was just pulling through a dominant performance, but now just seems to be the Cypher that is just too strong, too much of a force to reckon with. And that's actually going to be a big full push, and that's going to be B main control now for ex-Serenity. So they maintained a little bit of position that is gained. That'll be the neural theft that's going to be activated. So now flashes coming on through. Decop just trying to slow it down. Finds his shot somehow. Takes down Joseph. Rolling Thunder. Oh no, talk about mayhem. He's going to be creating some more. And now they're just completely falling apart like a deck of cards. One by one they go. And it's all just down to the 2-on-4 situation and making it just to turn up. And at this point, there might not be anything to turn up because Decop pulls up the quad.
Right there.
My goodness, lads. They're literally fighting tooth and nail. My frag, no my frag, no my frag. And a 4K coming out from Decop. We were just mentioning Decop. Yeah, you're getting carried, mate. I swear he's listened to the stream because he said, dude, I'm still here, man. I'm just taking it easy, bro. 4K anytime, easy.
You know, and we see some games where some teams, they look like they're built completely different. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing at this moment. I mean, Equinox, look at this, 9-0. No issues. They've, you know, when everything is all against them, all the cards are against them, they seem to find the right one and they win that hand. So We'll have to see if they can do something. We need ex-Serenity. They need to pick up a round or two at least. And right now, it's looking like that might not even be an opportunity.
Drop the spike.
Extra props, man. If we're going to slap that the way of Equinox, how many times has Showtime got that entry, lads? If you're an entry, the form of ex-Serenity, you keep doing your job for your team, and it doesn't get capitalized off of. So frustrating. Showtime still doing his best, and turning up big with the Sheriff, and so is Easy. So Easy finally making this round look a bit easier. It's 5 versus 2, lads. Possibly, just possibly, is this their round?
Planted.
This is the biggest advantage that we have seen for ex-Serenity. Both Decop and DX and the remaining players, both stuck in screens. A little bit of utility to burn, no ultimates available. Decop does have 3 flashes that he can burn, so he's going to have to time these very perfectly, and that's DXN that has to find these frags, but he won't be able to, so Decop all down to him by himself. The Lone Ranger, he's now going to have to take down an army, and he's just looking for all the opportunities possible. But look at these peaks, a little bit too wide, but Easy will now solidify their first round.
I think Decop's aim and his crosshair placement, man, he can do that better than Walk-In with how good he's doing, man. He's really locking the heads and clicking away. 9-1. That's that moment. The team speak. That's an old reference. Goodness me, no one just team speak or Discord or whatever team chat they're gonna be in. I'm sure, guys, they're beatable. X-Ray 2 lineup. We could take down Equinox, and that one round that could be the beginning of some good vibes on that team.
Shop?
Right there.
Oh, you can already see there's a bit of a crossfire coming. Mina does have the operator in hand. Decop has the flashbang ready to go. So it allows me to go for this big contact play. Gets this shot, takes him down. That's going to be the dash that comes through. An amazing amount of team effort right there. Just the synchronized work. And now allows Equinox to pick up a player already so early on. No harm, no foul for the attacking side. I mean, they still have spike control. They have mid control right now. But they've lost their jet. They've lost a duelist.
And as you'll see, they do have a duelist available still in the form of Reyna, but we haven't really seen too much come out in the form of Lear for an entry or trying to break into side from Reyna. If we were to see that, I think that'd really help out Showtime in just tearing apart the opponents. And right now, we are seeing it as the secondary duelist being used in Reyna. I think if this want to go, gonna work as well. So taking out the other jet, Mina removed. Op removed from the server as well. Scourge coming in decent here as well. Scourge doing this one here.
DXN does find the one, but actually going to get caught with the flashpoint from the breach. Will be now just Pancakes and also Cute Fat Boy. They're going to be on pushing on through, but Cute Fat Boy, he knows the spike's there, goes for the spray, takes down the one. He knows somebody's on heaven. He's able to take him down. Neural Theft going to be used. So Easy's location completely revealed, but the HP, it's not looking very good. And it's down to 33, and now the fake defuse comes through, so now he's just baiting it out. This is a big play, an amazing play,
Massive.
but Easy is able to pick up the second round.
Easy continuing
Last
that.
round before the switch.
first to second, connecting the dots, dot to dot, 2 dots connected. We need to see the hat trick. The triple baby, we need to see 3 lined up to give them that fighting chance for that second half. And just a little reminder, if you're just tuning in right now and you're seeing this matchup saying, oh, it's looking like it's almost over the first half. Well, this is the second map of a best of 3. The first map, it went the way of Equinox, the team that are in the defense 9-2 up right now. So if they play their cards right, lads, and they're able to go straight through with this, 2 maps over and done with, that's ex-Serenity out of the running here if they're not able to turn up. Talking of that though, Joseph, he's not done just yet. But Decop, he's coming down with a double.
Yeah, Decop still being a menace, just doing all the crimes, just looking to see what he can find. Cute Fat Boy still going to be leading the score chart, 17-4, but Decop trying to get a little bit closer and closer.
There.
Pancakes already knows the positioning from the attackers, and they're completely stuck. They're in A main. I mean, they can fall back. But right now, do they want to? Do they want to try to fight this? There's a lot of time to burn. Still a minute left on that clock. It's a long rotate, but they can definitely make something work, but they're going to need to do something quick.
Cover going out.
Playing with the rotates could be a good idea.
Cover going out.
They didn't really touch base with that too much. Just gone for their defaults and just trying to slow plays through mid or for B in that matter. Omen making his way through, and
there.
Decop, he's looking pretty hurt. He's got 30.
One enemy remaining.
That's going to be now Pancakes to help out, and that's going to be the assist, going to make it 10-2, the similar half that we saw on map number 1. Equinox.
Aye.
Dominance, dominance,
Switching
dominance,
sides.
and now switching sides, it will be ex-Serenity that are going to be switching things over.
There was a Quake sound that used to be in CSGO for some custom servers. Dominating! Do you remember that, Les?
Yeah, I always remember those sounds. They're the best.
You know, right now for Equinox, dominating! I'm sure that's literally what they're thinking. Like, maybe you're banging their chest and the fist bumps, the chest bumps, it's all happening. Virtually, of course, because COVID not allowing to meet up in person, perhaps. But this 10K, that'll get well on the road to feeling good and doing what the heck they want. 5 seconds here, match point. It seems inevitable with how this lineup are playing of Equinox. ex-Serenity, though, they've got their defense. And you said defend decided perhaps this site or this map, Plaz, could be their call in here.
This is where everything can completely change, that attacking side. We'll have to see if Equinox, if they have the right ingredients for this recipe, but they're actually going to push on through, and that's going to be Mina to try to find something, but will fall. They get a lot of control through mid, but so far it seems to not be working out well. But Decop going to be finding that point, get a little bit of retaliation back, but 2 players going to be coming in right from CT, and now it's just a complete duel of a shooting range, but it will be ex-Serenity to pull it up.
Massive, important, essential. A million words you could use for it, but it was needed. That's all you need to know. Match point, and that bit closer, denied there for Equinox. ex-Serenity still in this game. They've got pistol. We need to see that thread, though. It's like you're knitting a scarf. We did the whole scarf in one night, in one weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. This actually will be the force that's going to come in
Shadows traveling.
as well. So they're actually still willing to bring the fight to them. And look at this, Mina already dashing across, getting a little bit of control, but that's going to be a full push. So now a little bit more pressure now for the Omen, which will be easy. But Pancakes finds the back of the head and takes them down. Spike going to get planted.
Spike
And this is
planted.
this is amazing how they already pushed into the site so quick and so swiftly.
Super swift, and it's looking like it could be the recipe
Flash out.
to take this one home. Another player's been removed, though. It's a 4-on-4. Staying neck and neck with them are going to be Equinox fragging out as we go into this one.
One
Oh.
enemy remaining.
Triple. Love to see it
One
from Joseph.
enemy
It is going to be
remaining.
Eco, so hype, but not too much hype. The 1-on-1, though, that's worth the hype. Gonna take it, and they are going to remain in that power position for getting those rounds off to the races. 4 in the bag there for ex-Serenity, but let's focus on the negative of that one, Laz. Economy, that's going to be in the absolute garbage can there for ex-Serenity. That was a full buy for them.
Yeah, the money situation is going to be a little bit, iffy right now, but I mean, the spike plant will be good. I mean, they took down a lot of members, so that's one thing to note also. I mean, like we said, ex-Serenity, they pulled up 2 rounds in a row now. I mean, they haven't been pretty by any means, but I mean, it definitely will have to do because they have a long road ahead of them, still 6 behind. And at this point, we're not going to expect much on the weapon side of things from Equinox, but we'll have to see if they're going to just have something a little bit in store with those sheriffs.
Sheriffs, the 1-taps. Showtime put it to work big time. What are Equinox going to have up their sleeve? I'm sure Decop's got a couple of 1-taps in his repertoire. He'd be a cute fat boy.
And this is a good spot for him to be in because right now he uses the cyber cage, he crosses through, so he has a lot of control in terms of that. He's just going to sit there, he's going to wait things out, doesn't have to make any noise whatsoever. So the defense, they think he might have crossed, but they definitely don't know for sure. So it's always kind of this big question mark. And that's kind of the one, dangerous things is that he could potentially just attack at any certain time and catch them off guard. But Mina, look at that, finds the shot and does decimate that one player, which will be Scrooge. So, like I was saying before, this is going to be the positioning. And cute Fat Boy, we miss it, but he does find it. He capitalizes on the timing, takes him down. That's going to be the breach. That's going to go for the wide swing turn up. Going to look for a little bit more. He's bloodthirsty. He wants a little bit more. Now looking for a 3, and he's stunned, and he still picks up a 3rd kill. And now it's going to be a 2-on-3, the spike. It doesn't have to go to the site, and now it's going to completely hightail. It's going to make its way towards B potentially, but oh, this is a fake.
The fake is going to be happening there. DXN, he's going for the ring around the rosies, going around the back of it, and he's going to go straight into sight as well. So spike in
10
hand. So
seconds
3
left.
versus 2, 9 seconds. This really is going to be a time crunch, but I
Spike
think he's going to get
planted.
the spike out in
One
time.
enemy remaining.
He's got the spike down in time, but now just down to Mina. Sheriff in hand, 3 kills, but no, it will be 4 for turn up, and that's going to be another round for ex-Serenity to pull it through. This defuse will allow the Breach to have his ultimate ready to go also for this big gun round.
Turn up for what? Turn up, hopefully, for the win. That's what they're hoping for in this scenario. 10-5, double figures has been met by Equinox. Ex-Serenity, they're climbing, they're clambering, they're sweating, they're trying to make this happen. 5 rounds, it's doable. It's really, really doable. Considering how things were looking for them at the beginning of this half, also beginning of this game, I should say, I think they've got to be feeling pretty decent right now.
Hit them back. Concussing.
Turn, just getting the util out, doing a bit of action at mid, just keep him a bait. Showtime. Great position in here. Getting that spray the stinger and not able to land the goods. And off that, that's going to give up short.
Yeah, that's going to be short control now in possession for the attackers. It comes at a price, is now Mina going to be down to 2 HP. But look at this. Instead, they're going to fall back. They don't even want to go for this. And that's what I kind of meant. When you have that dark cover or cyber cage that's blocking the view, it's always this question mark if they're going to cross or they're going to just be lurking there. And that's what they did previously. But now they're just going to completely rotate, go all the way in the back of B. And on a map like Split, you can see both these defensive players, they're playing a 2-2.
I think with this play on the 2-on-2, they're going to have the crossfire set up here, at least from this
Cage
jump
trigger.
spot. Great vision
Cage
from
trigger.
Joseph. I think this is going to be the play.
Will be pancakes to take it down, and now making it to a 3-on-2 situation. DXN finds one. DXN trying to just
30
do a little bit
seconds
more. Spike going to get planted finally. The ultimate available for the Breach on the defensive side. Instead, we'll use the fault line to stun him, which won't ruin the plant. So now the plant is successful. And that's going to be the Rolling Thunder going to be used, but that's going to be the teleport used from the Omen. But that's not going to matter because Equinox, they pull it up now 11-5.
You could literally stuff all of Equinox in a cardboard box and say, here you go, here's a toothpick to fight your way out of it. You've got 10 seconds. They'd be out immediately. You turn around, you look back and you're like, hey, you're out of the box and the box isn't damaged. Somehow, some way, they keep getting out of these situations, lads. How? How?
It's just like a crime, honestly, because right now, I mean, the Equinox, they find these openings and they just seem to get away with it every single time. I mean, and like I said, ex-Serenity, I don't really think there's anything they're doing completely wrong. I think it's just the post-plant situation that, you know, right now is just not working out for them in that situation.
Someone called the Cyber Police got a crime to report. It's going to be this disgusting Ruster hit from Equinox and coming through. Woohoo! In the face. Mina, Bladestorm, devastating all game long, lads. And right into
I know
the palm of his
exactly where you
opponents.
are.
And this is a lot of position gain from Mina because now just going to hold the fort and actually going to take that exchange, win that duel against Easy, and now can completely just go for the big flank. They know that she could be pushing. Oh my goodness, look at this Mina. Oh, gets one, gets two. That's going to be making it almost the ace, but no, it'll be the quad. And Mina solidifies that 12th round with an outstanding individual performance.
Point.
Bro, that's got to be clipped. Someone clipped. That was sick. That was sick. We knew the ace was a potential. You were hoping for it, lads, weren't you? I know I was.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you get a jet that's got the Bladestorm, honestly, you're expecting some big plays, and that's exactly what was delivered from Mina.
Signed, sealed, delivered. I love it when you say that, and that's a prime example, mate. I can't. Wow. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Super speechless.
And this has just got to be demoralizing as well for ex-Serenity because, like we said, I mean, they seem to have the right ideas,
Right there.
right spots, right opportunities, but no, it'll just be, you know what, someone come in, ruin that party. They're just going to crash the social gathering, and that's it.
That is legit. Their rights are being removed. They've been saying, no, you're not going outside. You're staying inside for a year. Someone told us that a year ago, you wouldn't have believed it. But they're not believing it right now. There's going to be this ex-Serenity Rust having such a hard time here. This round, though, is looking a bit more of a healthier one. 5 versus 3.
Spike's gonna get planted. That'll be the neural theft that's gonna be used, and that's gonna be Easy spraying on through. But
Spike planted.
CFB gonna be finding the head of Easy. So now making it a 2-on-4. So both these players, they need to do something because time is ticking. But the defense, they can't be too careless with it because cute Fat Boy trying to go for a little bit of a play on the ramp, and now just begin leaving it all down to Decop. But that's going to be too much for him to deliver. So the bleeding is stemmed. They stem the bleeding a little bit longer here for ex-Serenity.
Just a little bit longer. We all know that feeling though. If it's a public game, doesn't matter if it's a quarterfinals of the 10K Nights.gg tournament, whatever style and whatever level of play you'll be gaming at, you've been at that point where your enemy's on match point. And you know, even then when nobody's in the lane, like, man, this doesn't feel good. I've got to do all the big clutch plays. I've got to do everything I can think of in my repertoire. Think of that times 100. That's going to be how ex-Serenity are feeling right now. If you're in IGL, man, the load's got to be heavy, lads. Heavy weight on your shoulders, all the pressure, time's are ticking. And so's the quick entrance here. Coming out of ex-Serenity to Showtime. Gonna have one.
Oh my
Triple
goodness.
down.
How does that work? How does Pancakes find that opening? Peeks right through the dark corner, picking up the 3-piece. Just body bagging all these ex-Serenity players, and now their backs are against the wall because they're on a 2-on-3, making it a 1-on-3, and it's all just down to the Reyna. But now cute Fat Boy gonna go for another one, and that's gonna be a 2-0 sweep for Equinox.
Game, set, match. Right then and there. Didn't even get to see map number 3. What was it? It doesn't matter because it's 2 and over. Who's going to be taking the top frag there? Yeah, cute Fat Boy. 24 in 9. 24 in 9. So Decop, sick first game there on Haven. We're going across to the map where we just were there, and you saw it in front of us. 24 frags. Another somewhat of a, I don't want to say a carry. The whole team, they're just popping off left, right, and center.
Yeah, an outstanding performance from CFB or Q Fat Boy, 24 and 9 with a 302 average combat score. And Decop again, second map where in map number 1 it just looked like it was the force of Decop all the way, but still being able to put a high number in a second game. That the gas is just not empty at all for this squad.
No, dude, they've got the gas on tap. They've got some connections, and they're getting all those connections put into place. So for us, that is the quarters that you just saw there. So that is Equinox going right on through to the semis. Who they'll be up against, I'm not too sure the stats of the games. Could definitely have a peek for you, but as far as I know, lads, I think that'll be it for us today, will it not?
I believe we will actually be back for the semifinals as well. So we are just waiting to see who are going to be winning these next couple games. So don't go away. We will be back. We are just going to take a short break on the stream as we wait for the other matches to be complete. But definitely want to give a big shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the game. I know we definitely did. And congratulations, of course, for Equinox to pull up a big performance for a 2-0 in that fashion in the quarterfinals. Boy, I'm excited to see more.
Big dub, devastating. Confidence is key, and we said it's oozing out of them. It most certainly is. Stick with us, guys. Chris is present for me, for you, and for Lies potentially coming up in that semi-final. We'll catch you soon.